Personal protective equipment, also known as PPE, is the last line of defense to protect the body from pesticide exposure. Often conventional work clothing is the primary form of PPE. Work clothes may also be worn under more extensive garments, such as aprons, coveralls, or chemical-resistant suits. Ultimately, work clothes will become contaminated with pesticides as part of the handling, loading, mixing, and application processes. Therefore, you need to handle and wash work clothing carefully. Research on laundering pesticide-contaminated work clothing was primarily conducted in the 1980s and early 1990s. Since then, significant changes have occurred in pesticide toxicity and formulation, detergents, washing machines, and clothing design. Generally, pesticides used today are lower in toxicity and active ingredient to control pests and are less persistent in the environment. Still, pesticides are considered toxic agents, and many pose a health risk to applicators and other individuals who may come in contact with them, especially if label instructions and best management practices are not followed. Pesticide manufacturers and equipment suppliers have made important advancements in formulation, packaging, and engineering controls to further reduce applicator exposure. The development of a good laundering routine continues to play an important role in protecting the applicator and other members of the workplace and household. Most current machines have digital controls, which enable a wide array of customizable wash settings. These features add multiple possibilities for improving pesticide removal from clothing. They may include a programmable pre-soak cycle, a wash cycle that can easily be set for aggressive agitation and extended for an hour or more, and customizable spin setting, duration, and speed. On some machines, you can change the intensity and duration of the rinse cycle by extending it for several minutes or setting an additional rinse cycle. Some machines have a steam-assisted cleaning cycle, or you can select superheated water. Using hotter water would likely improve the removal of pesticides from garments. However, steam cleaning has not been evaluated for removing pesticide contaminants. Basic machines may not have options for high-temperature washes and rinses, and water-saving settings may not be adjustable. In these situations, increase the duration of the wash cycle or use 2 wash cycles. Front or top-load machines without agitators have become widely available, but limited comparisons have been made regarding their relative efficiency. Review the pesticide label to determine if the clothing can be washed, and if so, how. If garments are heavily contaminated, laundering them may not be an option. Discard clothing that has been drenched or heavily contaminated. If the label allows you to launder clothes, look for and follow label statements about laundering procedures. Use detergents and hot water and store and wash PPE separately from other household or work laundry. Handle, segregate, store, and wash clothes in a manner that will minimize contamination in the home and reduce exposure to skin. Use optimum wash settings to remove pesticide contaminants from garments. Decontaminate the washing machine and dryer before using it for other household clothing. Notify commercial laundering firms that they will be handling pesticide-contaminated garments if you send your contaminated clothing to them. Check with the manager or owner of a laundromat or public washing facility about prohibitions or special handling procedures if you plan to wash your contaminated clothing at those facilities. Pesticide labels require pesticide applicators, handlers, and workers to protect themselves and others from exposure to pesticides, so pesticide clothing should be handled as follows. While outdoors, shake, sweep, or dust off the clothing with compressed air and remove any dry material from the clothing. Pay special attention to cuffs and pockets where residues often collect. If possible, remove clothing outside the home or establish a changing place in the home that can be decontaminated easily and launder clothes as soon as possible. Studies show that waiting to launder clothes for 24 hours or more significantly reduces the washing effectiveness. If you don't wash clothes immediately, store them outside the home in a garage, shop, porch, or a designated area in the home that can be decontaminated easily after each use. Store them separately from other household clothing in a plastic garbage bag or a dedicated container. Plastic storage bins with sealable lids are available at most home improvement stores. Wash contaminated clothing separately from other household laundry. The person responsible for washing clothes should avoid skin exposure by wearing a long-sleeve shirt and waterproof gloves when loading the washing machine. If available, read the manufacturer's directions for operating your particular machine. The directions often provide tips and detailed descriptions on how to achieve the best results. Add only a few items into the washing machine. The washer provides the best agitation and dilution when it is loaded 50 to 75% of its capacity. Use the maximum amount of detergent the machine's manufacturer recommends. Detergents used today are different than the ones used in previous studies. Detergents no longer contain phosphates, and there have been significant improvements in detergent performance, including their ability to tolerate hard water, cooler water temperatures, disperse contaminants, and break down quickly after use. Use high-quality detergents and avoid gentle detergents that are designed for fragile fabrics or baby clothing. Liquid or dry detergents provide similar wash effectiveness when used with sufficient water volume, duration, agitation, and temperature. Highly concentrated liquid detergents in water-dissolvable pods are now available, however they have not been evaluated for efficacy in removing pesticides from contaminated clothing. Regardless of which detergent you select, using it along with other proper laundering procedures can remove residues in your pesticide work clothes to acceptable levels for future use. Pre-treating garments with stain removal products or using bleach, ammonia, or fabric softener does not help remove pesticide residues. Use the highest and hottest water setting available, regardless of load size. Hot water helps remove residues better than warm or cold water. The longer the cycle, the better. Use a pre-rinse or pre-soak before starting the wash cycle, and use an aggressive wash cycle that lasts at least 20 minutes. You may need to manually adjust the settings on older or basic machines. Use a high-speed spin, and if this feature is not available, reset the machine manually to run for additional spin time to further remove water and contaminants from the clothing. After you remove the load, run an additional empty cycle without clothing, using detergent and hot water, before using the washer for household laundry. If practical, dry clothes outside on a clothesline. The increased air circulation and sunlight can assist in breaking down residues. Otherwise, dry clothes in a heated dryer. It is not recommended to hang clothes inside to dry. Most of the recommendations provided here have not been tested with some of the new breathable or synthetic fabrics used in PPE. Consult the washing instructions on these items for best results.
This has been a production by the University of Minnesota Extension Pesticide Safety and Environmental Education Program in conjunction with North Dakota State University's publication, Laundering Pesticide Contaminated Work Clothes.